Hello General Math students. In this video we're going to look at percentage increase and decrease. So one thing to note is that these types of sequences involve geometric sequences only, or geometric sequence rules only. The percentage increase or decrease is what determines the common ratio. So you can see here we have a percentage increase of 108%. That when we divide that and convert it to a decimal by dividing it by 100, we get 1.08. And you can see that that has determined the common ratio, or the R value, for that sequence. Another thing to note is that if we have a percentage increase of, say, 8%, now we need to add that to 100%, which gives us 108%, or 1.08. If it's a decrease, we need to subtract that decrease. So say we had a 30% decrease, we need to subtract that from 100%. So if we're increasing, we add to 100%. If we're decreasing, we subtract from 100%. So of course this decrease, subtracting 30% from 100%, will give us 70%, or 0.7. And here that determines the common ratio for this sequence. First term of the sequence is the number that goes out the front. So in the first case here, this sequence starts with $1,000. So that's the first term of the sequence, and it goes out the front there. And same here with the depth of the snow starting at 300 centimeters. That's the number that goes in front in the sequence rule. So armed with that knowledge, you might want to pause the video now and try these ones on your own, and then I'll have a go at them. Okay, so the first one here, $1,500 invested at 6% per annum. So the A value, the first term in this sequence, is $1,500. And we've got a 6% increase. So that means 106%. Because we're going to increase by 6% each time, so we need to add that to 100%. So when we divide that by 100, we get 1.06 for our common ratio. So let's put that into an equation. Tn equals 1,500 times 1.06 to the power of n take 1. So in order to determine the first 5 terms, what we'll do is we'll put that first term in, 1,500. Now I'm just going to multiply that by 1.06 to get the next term, which is 1,590. Okay, so let's write those two down. We start with 1,500, then 1,590. Then straight away I'm just going to push multiply, and multiply by 1.06 again, and that takes us up to 1,685.40. And just keep doing that until we get the first 5 terms. Oops, I messed that up a bit. I'll need to type that in. I shouldn't have needed to type that in, but I erased the previous answer, so I'll just have to type that number in again. 1786.52. Okay, if I do this properly, I can just push multiply by 1.06 without having to type it in again. 1893.72. So I'm not going to enter the calculations for the next 3. I'll show you the answer on the next slide, but that's the way I find the terms, is just multiply by that decimal one after the other until you get all the terms that are required, right? But I will show you how to get these equations, and then you can go ahead and find the first 5 terms, and I'll show you them afterwards. Okay, so university course, 320 enrollments, but 8% drop out. So our A value, actually this is a percentage decrease, so I'll switch to red. We start with 320 students. Now this 8%, we subtract that from 100, we get 92%. So our R value is 0.92. So that means Tn equals 320.92 to the n take 1. We'll check those first 5 terms shortly. Tip rats. We're back to a percentage decrease, so I'll switch to blue. We start with 620 rats. Our R value, 20% increase, so that's going to give us 1.20. So Tn equals 620, 1.20 to the n take 1. And last one, A value is 80. We've got a percentage decrease here, so I'll switch back to the red. And the R value, we're going to subtract that 15% from 100%. You should get 0.85. So this is our sequence rule. Okay, so I'll give you a moment to look at those. You might want to pause the video and just check your answers. But on the next slide, the first 5 terms for each sequence. And here they are. So check that you've got the right answers. I suppose just one thing to note is for these B and C, these ones, we have discrete variables. So I suppose if you're asked for a particular term in the sequence, you'd need to round those to the nearest whole number, because by a discrete variable, we must have whole number answers. So with the number of students or number of tip rats, either way, you would give the answer as a whole number value and round to the nearest whole number. But apart from that, those are the answers. So go ahead and check the description for the video for the questions you should try, and have a look at some percentage increase, decrease questions for sequences and series.